Hey guys, it's Loves to Loom here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Rainblo Stick bracelet. My husband actually came up with the design name. I actually already posted a tutorial on this bracelet, but today all I'm doing is actually editing the name. I did name this bracelet very similar to another bracelet out there, so I do apologize for any inconvenience. I'm going to go ahead and rename it the Rainblo Stick bracelet, and my husband came up with that based on the little dots going down the middle. He said it reminded him of rainbow gum that he used to eat when he was younger. So I do appreciate all of the help on Instagram trying to come up with a name. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy my tutorial on my Rainblo Stick bracelet. You will need approximately 83 bands, which is what I use to make this bracelet. It may differ depending on your wrist size because I had to use 10 extension bands. And don't forget, you will need one loom, a C-clip, and your hook. Today I will be alternating between my jelly rainbow colors, and I will also be using glow-in-the-dark white. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that you have your pin bars in a staggered position facing away from you. We're going to start by laying some border bands. So going down the left and right side, we're just going to lay a single band. Whatever color you want to be this border band is what we're going to lay right now. So just grabbing one single band, going out to the left, and then also going out to the right. And now I'm just going to do like a single chain border all the way up the left side. Starting from the bottom left peg, going forward. Just doing that same thing all the way up the loom. This is pretty much the most basic step for looming. So I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with this step. And we are not going to go to the very last peg. We're actually going to go ahead and bring that into the middle, like that. Now we're going to go back down, and we are going to bring our border up the right side. Still using the same color. Oh, losing my loom here. Still going forward, laying one band. Sorry, I keep getting ahead of myself and not moving my loom. Sorry about that. Now we're just going to go from this pin into the middle, like that. Now what I like to do at this point is go ahead and push down your bands so they are not in our way. Alrighty, so now we're going to come back to the beginning. Arrows still facing away from you. Because now we're going to lay the dot part. So basically all the colored bands that you see here is what I consider my dots. That is what we're going to lay now. Now for these bands, we will be double banding them. So make sure you have 2 bands at a time. And if I do not say how many bands I'm using for the colors, definitely rest assured and know that it will be 2. So we are going to go ahead and start. Actually, we're going to skip this pin here. These 2 pins we are not going to use. We're going to be going all the way up the loom, putting it vertical like so. So we're going to go from the left to the right and just stretch it across like that. Just straight across, no twisting or anything like that. Now, you don't have to do this, or you can do it later, but I don't like any twisting of any sort of my band. So one was overlapping the other, so that's why I just did that with my hook. You don't have to do that, but I just feel like it looks a lot cleaner. So now we're going to skip up one, and we're going to lay our next colored bands. Just remember, don't put it on this one because it will get in the way when we go to loop our border bands. So that should have nothing. We have our 2 pink bands here. Now I'm going to grab my yellow, going across like that. I'm going to do the same with my green. Now my teal. Now my purple. And we're just going up 1 pin and just laying it, going left to right. Now we'll go up to these 2 pins. Now I'm going to go back to my pink color. And I apologize because in the beginning I think I said I'm going to go down, use all my rainbow color, or all my jelly colors to make a rainbow effect, but that is not correct. I'm just using pink, yellow, green, teal, and purple. Almost at the end. And even though these ones are, you know, at the very end or at the very beginning, however you want to consider that, we are going to lay those too because they're going to actually be moved forward. So make sure you lay that one. And this is what your loom should look like so far. And if it looks like that, go ahead and push down those vertical bands. Because now we are going to lay some bands in the middle. So now you can use whichever color you desire, but I used white. If you see here in the middle, that is actually a different band than what's on my sides, but I just decided to stick with white. So it's up to you if you want to use a different color, you know, in there, but I am going to stick with white. And we are going to use 2 bands going all the way up the middle pin bar. So starting at this very bottom, going forward, we're going to be laying 2 bands. Just like that. And we're going to do this all the way up that middle pin. And just make sure you have 2 every time. I'm just straightening my bands because they got crooked. Sorry, but I just really don't like them being overlapped at all. So that's all I'm doing. There's nothing that you have to do if you don't want to, or if yours aren't even crooked, but mine were. So I wanted to fix it. Okay. Back to placing the bands. So still using double bands. Just laying them forward. Sometimes you might need to push the back one out of the way a little bit so you can fit those next 2 on. And there we go. So I just laid my last band there. So you should have something like this. Now what I'm going to do, if your loom looks like that, go ahead and turn it around, having your arrow facing you. And of course I like to push those bands down. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and grab a single band, because what we're going to do is make a cap band on this bottom pin right here. To make a cap band, you just want to basically have it wrapped around this pin 2 times. You can use your fingers, you can use your hook, you can just wrap it around the pin. You know, however you achieve this is fine, as long as it is wrapped around there 2 times. Is fine. Okay, so now that we have all of our bands laid, we're going to go ahead and start the looping process. And what we are going to do is go and we're going to do the middle looping or basically we're going to go from the middle, and then we're going to do our colored bands. Then we'll do our middle, then our colored bands, and we're going to do that all the way up to loom. So we have 2 bands in our middle. We will not be bringing them back onto themselves like we normally would do when looming. We're going to be bringing the top band out to the upper left and the bottom band up to the outer right. If that sounds confusing or hard, don't worry. I'm going to show you right now, and it's really not that bad. So go ahead and put your hook down into your middle pin here, pushing back that top cap band. Grab the very top band. Carefully bring that off the pin, and we're going to bring that to the upper left where my right finger or left finger is, right here. Just like that. Go back into the cap band, grabbing that next top band, bringing that up to the right. I like to call it the bunny ears. So as long as you have those bunny ears, you're good to go. So now that we've done that step in the middle, we are now going to come back and loop this pink band right here. So we're going to go ahead and just carefully grab the left side of those 2 pink bands, and we're just going to bring it to the middle here. And just wrap it on like that. Now we're going to do the same to the right side. Carefully grab the 2 bands and bringing it to the middle. Just like that. So your pink band should be completely wrapped around that middle peg. Go ahead and push that down so that doesn't want to pop off. And now we have to go inside this middle pin, and we're going to do the same thing. So push that back. It's kind of hard to get in there. Carefully push that back, grabbing the next top band, and we're going to bring that to the upper left right here. Might be a little bit tight. Just give it a little stretch. We're going to do the same to the right side, so go back in that cap band, grabbing the bottom band or whatever band's left and bring it to the right. We have our bunny ears, so now we know it's time to loop our color band. So we're now going to come back to this peg, going inside this bunny ear. We are going to grab the colored band, carefully remove it from the pin, and bring it to the middle. Just like that. Doing the same on the right side. Make sure you go inside this bunny ear, grab the colored bands, and bring it to the middle. Like that. So now we're starting to get like this wing effect. Go ahead and push that down. We're now going to go into this middle band. Grab that top band, bringing it out to the upper left. Going to go back in the middle pin and going... Oh, it's a little bit stuck. Just be careful when you tug on it that you don't snap your band. And bring that to the top right. So now that we have those 2 looped, we're going to come back and do our colored band. So make sure you always go inside this band right here. Grab your 2 bands. Bring it to the middle. Coming to the right side. Grabbing our 2 bands. Taking them off and bringing those to the middle. Go ahead and push that down. Now we're going to go into this middle pin, grabbing the top band, carefully taking that out and bringing it to the top left, going back in that band, grabbing that band and bringing it to the upper right. Now we have to come back and loop our colored band. So I'm going to grab this green band here, making sure I'm inside this band, grabbing the 2 green bands, bringing that to the middle, coming to the right, going inside those bands, grabbing my 2 green, bringing that back to the middle. Doing the same step again, going in the middle, grabbing the top band, bringing it out to the left, going back in, grabbing the band, and we're going to bring that up to the top right. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of resistance when pulling the bands out of here, so I definitely recommend using high quality bands because I can't guarantee that they will not break. I use bands from rainbowloom.com and I never seem to have a problem, so hopefully you don't either. So now we've looped our 2 bunny ears, and now we're going to go into this band here to grab our colored band. And we're going to go ahead and loop that around the middle pin, going into these bands, grabbing onto the 2 colored bands and bringing that back into the middle. Going into those bands, grabbing the top band, coming out to the left, doing the same thing on the right. I'm just going to move a little bit quicker, just because I have done it a few times. But just in case you're not catching on, I will continue, to make the bracelet. I will not fast forward it. So I did go ahead and loop the middle. So now we want to go in that middle pin, grabbing the top band, upper left, going in the middle pin, going to the upper right. And that's why it's actually important when you are laying the bands that they're not crisscrossed over each other, because you want to make sure that, like, if I went to grab that top band and it was laid on the bottom, this would be messed up. It would be all like crisscross. So it's important how the bands are laid. So back to looping. We looped our 2 bands here, so we're going to go in here and grab our colored bands, going to the right side, bringing them to the middle, going in the middle pin, grabbing the top band, going out to the left, now going out to the right. Now we're going to go back and loop our 2 teal jelly bands. Going in that middle pin, going up to the left with that band, and going up to the right with that one. Coming back, grabbing my jelly bands, bringing them to the middle, repeating that step again. And this is the last bands that we will be bringing from the middle and out to the sides. So I did the left side, and now we're going in and bringing this out to the right. Now we have to do our last color band, going inside of here, bringing that to the middle. Doing the right side, bringing that to the middle, and pushing down. So now we have all of our dots loomed or hooked, however you'd like to put it. So at this point, we're going to actually go ahead and loop our sides. And you know what? I'm sorry, we didn't loop our last band here. Come back up here, and we are going to go inside the last one that we looped, which is pink in my case. There's 2 bands here. Go ahead and grab those 2 and just loop those forward like that. Technically, you can loop that now, or you can do it at the end. It really doesn't make a difference. I actually think I did it last when I made my bracelet. It was so long ago when I came out with this, but no, I didn't. I actually did it last. So there you go. So sorry about that. Just make sure you get that looped forward. Do not forget that step like I almost did. Now coming back to the bottom, we're now just going to do our border, which is just like a single chain going up the left and right. I'm going to start on my left. So go in here, pushing back that cap band, grabbing the left band, or the top band, bringing it out to the left, going through that cap band, and we're just going to move forward. Just make sure when you loop your sides, see right here we have our wing band, go inside of that. Don't go behind it. You have to be inside of it. So pushing that wing out of the way and moving forward. And do that all the way up the left side. Just don't forget to go inside that wing, or the bracelet will not come out correctly. And once you get here, we're just going to grab that band and bring it to the center, just like that. Now you can go down to the right, and we'll do the same thing on the right side. Go in the cap band, bringing that to the right, going in that cap band, going forward, and again, pushing back that wing band, going forward. Going in that wing band, and going forward. From this band, bringing that to the center, like that. So this is what your loom should look like when we are all done. Make sure you do not forget to loop anything. And now we can go ahead and actually do our extension. So I'm going to continue using my white bands. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to put our hook down into this top pin right here. And we do have a good amount of bands there. So just be very careful with the band and your hook not to break anything. So we're going to put our hook down into that top pin, making sure it's through all the bands, and just put it out like that. Have another band in your left hand and just make sure you don't let go of it. I like to put my finger in it, because we're going to actually pull the band through with our right hand, or with our hook. And you're going to pull that band up through all those other bands, just like that. So as long as you have it through all those bands, you can go ahead and hook this left side on, like that. Now I like to just push it down on my hook, so now you can take them off. I like to get a nice grasp at the base of the bands, holding onto your loom, and then gently just pulling up. You might have to like work it a little bit as you pull it off, going from left to right. So go ahead and do that carefully. The middle tends to be a little bit tougher than the other sides. It may look a little messy at first, but we're going to stretch it out and fix that later. So go ahead and just sit that to the side for now, because we're going to do our extension. Turn your loom around and face it with the arrows facing away from you. And I know that I need 9 bands, or no, I think I used 10 for this bracelet. Yes, 10. It may differ depending on the bracelet. Usually I use 11, but 10 did work fine for this. So just go ahead and lay however many numbers you need for the extension. So my case is 9, or 10, excuse me. So 1, 2, and we're just laying single bands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, going straight up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and turn that loom around once you laid the number of bands that you need for your extension. Go ahead and grab your hook and carefully slide those bands down, but make sure you don't pop them off. Just bring it down to the end like that, because now we're actually going to put this on this pin. Making sure you get both those bands around the pin like that, because now we're going to loop this up. So just hold on to your bracelet, go down in through your cap band here, grab it onto that, and going forward. And I'm not going to explain this because I'm pretty confident that everyone has made a single chain or extension before. So you're just going to go forward. If you haven't made one before, just follow along and I'm sure you will pick it up. Once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and just apply our C-clip onto this last band here. And I drop mine like I always do with these nails. Just make sure you get it through both of those bands. And then you can go ahead and pop that off of your loom. And before you hook it to the other end, now we can go ahead and fix it in case it's like a little messy looking. So what I like to do is flip it over like this, and see how it's kind of all bunched up. First, I like to just stretch like the side bands out like this. You're not going to hurt the bracelet, don't worry guys. See, there's those wing bands we have in there. So I like to just give it a nice stretch like that. Then it starts to roll up. Now I'm going to flip it over this way, and I'm going to pull it forward. And then I kind of squish it in the middle like that, and it like pops out, which is what I like about this bracelet, to make it sit high like that. So that's all you do to fix it. And then I even go like this when I'm done that, and just pull at my bands just to make my border bands like pop a little bit more, so they're not so tucked in. And they only get tucked in like that from us pulling at it, but you kind of have to do that just to fix it. But when you're done, if you like the bands to look a little more frilly, then you can certainly do that. So okay guys, I know I've been just babbling and babbling. Go ahead and grab your C-clip, attaching it to the other end of your bracelet, and there is a hook, or excuse me, there is a cap band there for you to attach it to. And there you have my Dippity Dot bracelet. So I think it's cute. Like I said, it's not anything like super spectacular or you know, different, but well, it is actually kind of different. So, but it's nothing major. I think it's cute. It's one of the very first designs that I came up with a long while ago, and I just thought I would share it with you guys. So if you did like this bracelet or tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below if you have not already done so. And when I was going through this box, I did actually find my very, very first bracelet, which was this one. And I think I've actually seen something similar to this already out there. So that's why I haven't actually posted it. And that's how I came up with this bracelet, was from making this bracelet. As you can see, the insides are the same. But yes, so I don't have a name for this because it was my very first one a long, long time ago. But if you like this bracelet and want to see a tutorial on this, please leave a comment below and I'd be glad to make it for you. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching my tutorial, guys. I hope to see you soon. Again, don't forget to subscribe and check me out at Instagram at Loves to Loom. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.